Livramento looks to pick up on that laid ball, but couldn't quite get onto the timing as Llorente picks up on that loose ball. Spain with the ball now in the centre circle. The captain, Rodri, carrying up into the Cape Verde half. Feigning and looking to go right, going short instead towards PERDE and further still to Fabian Ruiz. Played out to this right-hand side of the penalty area. Spain 1-2 on the ball themselves. Wonderful interception there, though, from Kevin Lamini. Javan Cabral, under some pressure, has to get the ball away. Does just in time to Borges, but this is some good pressure from Spain. Back towards Virginia. Oyarzabal is nearest to. Virginia takes no chances, sending the ball long. Wonderful distribution with the ball played up, but cheaply given away instead. Referee was going to give a foul for a hand ball, That one on Javan Cabral. And Spain look to switch the ball now up this left-hand side of the field. Laporte carrying the ball midway inside that Cape Verde half. Threaded up towards Cucurella, left edge of the area, short in towards the box. Shot and deflection right in the way there as Cape Verde get big bodies in front of Spain trying to take possession. An advantage of spaces opening up in the Cape Verde third. Rodri, 1-2, out towards PERDE. PERDE 10 yards from the left side of the Cape Verde penalty area. Now continue with the ball out towards Cucurella inside of the box. First time fallen to Cucurella on the volley, but high over the bar. That's Spain. Venomous effort from Cucurella. So far looking the most potent threat for Spain in this game. But that volley just catching off of the deflection from Moreira. Sailing over the bar as soon as it left the right foot of the Chelsea man. We are now half an hour into this game. Goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. This live audio coverage from Atlanta, also available via local broadcasting stations as well. Here in Atlanta, the Space Age Stadium, one of a number in the tournament this summer. LA and Dallas most notably. This one alongside them in terms of futuristic. Very much a far cry they must almost feel from the Estadio Nacional Cabo Verde in Praia, and Virginia just comes across there under pressure there. Worked well with Dini Borges just shielding the ball away from Ferran Torres. As the two centre-backs for Cape Verde continuing working brilliantly alongside one another to stop any form of threat from the front three for Spain. So far, Oyarzabal and Gavi in particular having very little to show for in this game. Ferran Torres so far seeing most of the ball up this right-hand side. As Cape Verde under a little bit of pressure themselves go all the way back again to Virginia. I'm not sure if Unai Simon really has had more than one or two touches of the ball through passes. So far, the scoreline is the most important stat of all, but that's poorly given away by Roberto Lopez as Spain now look to counter themselves with Ferran Torres laid up towards the right edge of the area towards Oyarzabal. Under pressure from Cape Verde players coming back, looking to take the ball away from the Sociedad man. Heavy touch outwards though, and it goes out for a Cape Verde throw-in. Oyarzabal feeling that he should have had a little bit more. Sidney Lopez Cabral amps up that bright pocket of blue in this right-hand corner in Atlanta. Excellent pressure there from the Benfica man. He will be moving actually to Trabzonspor after the tournament. £6 million move coming for him. But first of all, the likes of Spain, Uruguay and Saudi Arabia to deal with before he can think about heading out to Turkey, to the side that breached the Istanbul 3. Finishing third this campaign, Trabzonspor. As Cape Verde give the ball away yet again, this time up the further side of the field. Moreira looking to play the ball long. As PERDE dinks the ball out to the right-hand side of the field here with Llorente just inside of the Cape Verde half. Played short towards Fabian Ruiz. Squared to the left towards Rodri. The captain, short ball inside towards Cabase and out to this right-hand channel. Llorente, short inside, midway inside the Cape Verde half, building up at their own pace yet again. Cape Verde, wonderful interception there from Guerrero Montero. The central midfield man jumping in on the defensive duties. Cape Verde keeping the ball amongst themselves inside of their own area, played out to the right-hand side with Morea, back towards Lopez, inside of his own box with plenty of space, across the edge of the area, towards Dini Borges with a cute keep-up touch and action there. Feeling a little bit flirtatious inside of his own half, need to be careful against Spain. The ball has gone back towards Virginia, laid up instead. Now towards Kevin Lanini, sending a long ball up, looking for the captain, Ryan Mendes, but the assistant's flag up sharply right in front of the captain. And it is going to be a Spanish free kick midway inside their own half, up the further side of the field. Unai Simon with a rare touch there on the ball. Ryan Mendes just a glancing offside movement, looking to break away from Cucurella with that long ball. Longest serving player on the team, Ryan Mendes, 2010, his debut. This is 97th cap for the captain. Most goals in the squad as well, 22 goals to his name. The man that sits top of the tree and a real Cape Verde legend already. 36 years of age, and what he would give to lead his team to a victory in this tournament. Particular against Spain. Ferran Torres laying a heavy ball onwards instead as Cape Verde look to break away and giving away a free kick there. Ferran Torres just taking out there at the last moment on Cabral. Once more than just a free kick, looking for a yellow card potentially for the way of Ferran Torres. Cabral just being caught there as he looked to break away from the Barcelona man. Refers to himself as the Shark. Before this earlier, he fit in perfectly with Cape Verde. He's changed his name to the Blue Shark as again Cabral wins another free kick off of Ferran Torres. Maybe frustrations creeping in a little bit here for Spain. So we have 10 minutes to go of the regulation 45 in this first half. Still goalless between the number 2 ranked team in the world and the number 67th ranked team in the world. 10 teams from Africa in the tournament this summer. They're ranked 13th in Africa as well, so the number of teams sitting ahead of them that aren't even at the tournament this summer. So far, Cape Verde are certainly opening their account towards a little bit more of an extension. A long shot there from range from Livramento from the halfway line. Nowhere near troubling Unai Simon or the Spanish goal and going out for a goal kick for Spain. Livramento just turning and having a go from inside of the own centre circle in his own half. Wildly ambitious from Livramento. Dion Livramento relegated with Casapia in Portugal this summer as well. And who scored the goal against Cameroon in qualifying. That really put their sights on automatic qualification for the tournament this summer. Already an icon in Cape Verde across those 10 volcanic islands in the Atlantic Ocean off the West African coast. It's Laporte now, midway inside the Cape Verde half, squared to the right towards Kabasi, played further out to this right-hand side towards the fullback Llorente. Back inside towards the 19-year-old, finding the ball in the middle there towards Pedri, chipped up towards Cucurella, left edge of the area, into the box. Can they get the ball away? And it's a shot and palmed over the bar. Well read there from Virginia, just palming the ball over to get the ball out of play for a corner. But the assistant's flag on this near side has been raised as they're looking for an offside potentially there on Cucurella. The ball played up from Pedri and Cucurella, just about straying into an offside position. So the effort there wouldn't have counted in the end from Pedri. Caught the ball brilliantly, but Virginia took no chances, palming the ball over the crossbar. That would have been called away for an offside. Instead, well marshalled by the Jordanian assistant on this near side as Cape Verde win themselves a free kick just inside of the Spanish half on this near side. Llorente, the guilty party, shrugging towards the referee, just bringing down Livramento coming in from behind. So Cape Verde now with a free kick 5 yards inside the Spanish half off this near side of the field. As they are now looking to send this one potentially long. There is a couple of options nearby. Cabral does find the fellow Javan Cabral on this near left-hand side, carrying the ball towards the left edge of the area, taking a shot from range, but going well over the bar. Head in hand moment there for Javan Cabral. Understandably so as well. As that one sailed a good 7 or 8 yards over Unai Simon's crossbar. Going out for a goal kick instead. Surely Babista's going to be the happier of the two managers at the moment. Still plenty of time for this game to change its current fortunes of a goalless scoreline. You would anticipate Spain to eventually find the breakthrough given the amount of pressure they're putting on Cape Verde. But at the moment the Islanders are holding their nerve as it stands as Ferran Torres plays a short ball instead towards Llorente, towards the captain Rodri. Played back out to the Ferran Torres, hugging this right-hand side of the field towards Kabasi, centre of the Cape Verde half. As Pedri plays a 1-2 now back towards Pedri, 10 yards from the edge of the area. Ball out towards the left-hand side of the box towards Cucurella. As the port squared infield towards Fabian Ruiz. Plenty of Cape Verde players dropping deep inside of their own penalty area. Ferran Torres plays towards Pedri, edge of the box, looking to open up a shot here. Pedri, Fabian Ruiz chipping the ball out towards Cucurella, who heads the ball back towards Laporte in plenty of space. Off of the halfway line, still inside the Cape Verde half. Played back towards Cucurella, midway inside the Cape Verde half. Spain looking to come yet again, continuing to put the pressure on the Cape Verde third. Rodri. 10 yards from the edge of the box, chipping the ball up into the area towards Cucurella, headed back across, and there's Ferran Torres. It's come off the bar. Oyarzabal and Virginia palming the ball over for a corner. Wonderful read from the 40-year-old. Oyarzabal felt that that was the moment where the header was going to guide into the back of the Cape Verde net. Ferran Torres first of all hitting the bar, Oyarzabal's looping header, but Virginia reading the ball, palming over the crossbar. And no wonder all of the Cape Verde players surrounded the experienced goalkeeper. There's going to be a corner now for Spain. This one to be taken on the further side. Their first corner from the left side of the field. Spain look to get plenty of numbers into the box. That's so close to be the moment where the goal was going to finally be breached here in Atlanta. Virginia reading the header from Oyarzabal brilliantly. On to the 40th minute of the game. Goalless at the moment, still stands that way. 5 minutes of the 45 to go in this first half. It's going to be now this corner taken in from the right, swung into the near post, headed away though. Cape Verde still having to do a little bit of work themselves. Pedri feigning a ball back into the box towards the edge of the area. Rodri, 1 foot ball inside towards Fabian Ruiz, off the edge of the area. Ruiz, and that's a high, wayward shot there from the Spanish number 8, going well wide for a goal kick. De La Fuente turns away in frustration towards his bench. Ferran Torres hitting the bar just moments ago, and Oyarzabal's header couldn't quite find the back of the net, instead finding the big right hand of Virginia, just palming the ball over and away. Spain felt that was surely the moment where the deadlock would be broken. Cape Verde keep their hopes alive of claiming what is currently going to be a precious point in this group. Against the side many put alongside France in terms of expectancy of lifting the trophy in New York City on July the 19th. As Pedri carries the ball, sending a ball up in towards the left side of the field, but beyond the touch of Cucurella, going out for a Cape Verde throw-in midway inside their own half up the further side of the field. So far, Virginia, the man who has had the most to do in this game, cheaply given away yet again for Cape Verde. Spain looking to come once more. Rodri, edge of the box to the left side, play towards the edge of the area, but Fabian Ruiz can't quite get there first as Cabral looks to break away. And is this a chance for Cape Verde to maybe catch Spain on the counter? Cabral bursting a run up the left-hand side of the field. Ryan Mendes squared to the right. Ball just off the edge of the Spanish penalty area. Looking to break further into the box is Montero. Right edge of the box, having a ball away from Cucurella, but far too heavy of a touch. Straight towards Unai Simon. As Cape Verde look to break away themselves with plenty of pace, in particular from Sidney Cabral, bursting up the left-hand side of the field. But Ryan Mendes cutting into the right instead. Spain very nearly there punished, potentially, for that moment missed for themselves just moments ago, as Llorente has the ball now, midway inside the Cape Verde half, squared towards Fabian Ruiz and played back towards Kabasi. The captain Rodri off of his own centre circle inside the Cape Verde half, played now towards Llorente, to Laporte. Laporte squared in the middle towards Pedri. Wonderful footwork there from Pedri, the Barcelona man. Squared towards Fabian Ruiz and further to the right edge of the area towards Llorente. Oyarzabal now coming back, getting a little bit more time on the ball, isolated in the first half an hour of the game as Cucurella has the ball off the left edge of the box. Play back instead towards the captain Rodri, finding Pedri dead centre of the Cape Verde half. So we're now just 2 minutes away from seeing how much time is going to be added by the fourth official at the end of the first half. Pedri, 5 yards from the edge of the area, carrying the ball towards the left edge of the box, towards Ferran Torres. 1-2 back towards Pedri, turning in the edge of the area. Plenty of arms raised by the Cape Verde defenders, and rightly so, as the assistant's flag is raised yet again on this near side. And I've got to say, defensively, I think the Cape Verde have been absolutely superb this afternoon here in Atlanta. Lopez, Borges, Moreira and Cabral in front of a man who has so far been the reason why this is a 0-0 scoreline in Virginia, have made their country surely immensely proud with the work rate they've shown against one of football's finest nations. So much expectancy on the shoulders of Spain with every tournament they play in, but none more so than this one. As Cape Verde look to break away now with the ball, midway inside of the Spanish half. Montero played up towards Cabral, 5 yards from the left edge of the area. Cabral searching ball towards the further side of the box, but finding no one but the byline and going out for a goal kick instead for Spain. Cape Verde holding their own at the moment against Spain. Now into the final minute of the 45 of this first half. There will be at least 3 minutes of time added on for the hydration break allowance. As Kabasi plays the ball across the Cape Verde centre circle towards Laporte. Threading a wonderful ball up to Pedri, further still towards the left edge of the area. Cucurella into the box, Ferran Torres, and a wonderful save from Virginia down to the right-hand side. They've got to be wondering what on earth they have to do to breach the 40-year-old this afternoon. Ferran Torres with a low-driven shot, but far too close to the right side of Virginia. Excellent performance from the man between the sticks for Cape Verde, but again cheaply given away. Still with work to do. Spain with the ball now, left edge of the box, slide tackle in, and a big tackle there from Roberto Lopez, catching off of Pedri last. And that one goes out for a goal kick for Cape Verde. And it's going to be 4 minutes of time added on. Roberto Lopez sliding in expertly on Pedri in the box. Always a risky move, that one. But Virginia again to the rescue for Cape Verde. He would have seen that late as well. Dini Borges seemingly right in the pathway of Virginia's sight of vision. Going down brilliantly to his right to stop that one from nestling into the back of the net. Spain is so far seemingly the most likely to break the deadlock here, as they come yet again midway inside of the Cape Verde half towards Torres. Torres back towards Llorente. Cabase across the centre circle now with the ball inside of the Cape Verde half as they come yet again. With Laporte on the ball, the two centre-backs, experience and youth alongside one another, the baton almost certainly being passed this evening throughout this tournament as well. Pau Cabasi making his debut in 2024 as well, still relatively new to the scene but known very much so by De La Fuente. He's grown with many of this team and he will look to continue that growth for the coming years as well, as the ball has been played in towards the box, but a brilliant interception just getting in the way there with the ball dropping down to Llorente. As Montero gets a big foot in front, he's going to go out for a Spanish corner to be taken on this nearer side. There's nearly 2 minutes of the minimum 4 have been played at the end of this first half, and is this going to be the moment where Spain can finally break the deadlock here in Atlanta? They've had a number of chances already, yet to be taken. It is going to be Pedri, right-footed, into the edge of the centre of the 6-yard area. And Virginia again diving down towards the right post. Laporte rising highest with the header. As Virginia just palms the ball around the other side of the right post. And that one seemingly, potentially hitting the post itself, but Virginia could take no chances whatsoever. And it goes out for yet another corner for Spain. It's their fourth corner of the game, swung in towards that near post. Won well from Cape Verde at that near post, still with the ball deep inside their own half. But Cucurella can't quite get that ball away himself, and swiping the ball out for a Cape Verde throw-in. Midway inside their own half, up the further channel. What a performance from the man between the sticks for Cape Verde. 40 years of age, this is 89th cap for country. And as it stands, he's going to be adding his 36th clean sheet to that as well. Unless Spain can find a way to get past this resilient Cape Verde team. Now into the final minute of the minimum four. Rodri, cross-field ball up to Cucurella, chesting down beautifully off the left-hand touchline. Finding Laporte. The ball in the centre of the Cape Verde half. Ferran Torres laying up to the right edge of the box. Llorente chipping a ball to the back post, and the ball now just being guided out instead. Oyarzábal's header nowhere near the target, as Dini Borges just shields the ball out for a Cape Verde goal kick. Just seconds remaining of this first half. A truly dominant display in terms of possession and time on the ball in the opposition's half. But the famous old saying of the scoreline in the top left-hand corner is the one that matters most, and that does read 0-0 between Spain and Cape Verde. It's Virginia now looking to send this goal kick long, as all eyes now turn to the referee for the whistle to be blown, and there goes the half-time whistle, where it is Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. Spain with plenty of time on the ball inside of the Cape Verde half, and in particular in the Cape Verde third. But the defensive quartet of Mireia Lopez, Borges and Cabral are working wonderfully in front of the so far iron-like resilience of Virginia. Spain still with plenty to do and plenty to consider for Luis de la Fuente. Will Babista the happier of the two managers, as both sets of players now make their way down the tunnel here below in Atlanta? Is Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. And we'll bring you the rest of this live audio coverage here from Atlanta just before the second half begins. The game also available via local broadcasting channels as well. So we'll resume this service in just over 10 minutes' time.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Tunnels here, where the score is currently Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. It's been a truly outstanding performance defensively from the small island nation off the western coast of Africa. And it has left Spain scratching their heads so far, trying to figure out the best possible way to breach the resilience of Cape Verde's defence, and in particular their goalkeeper, Virginia, who's been a real ever-present threat and an iron curtain between the sticks for Cape Verde here in Atlanta. And it is Spain that will be getting us back underway, kicking from right to left in their red shirts with navy sleeves, navy shorts and navy socks. Cape Verde kicking from left to right in their all-white strip. No changes seemingly made by either side at half-time. I'm sure plenty of words spoken of encouragement from Babista, but surely in terms of improvement for De La Fuente, must have been left scratching his head. A couple of real glorious chances towards the end of the first half for Spain to take the lead here against Cape Verde. But so far, the side who are impressing the world in that first half performance are looking to continue that, but the captain now, Rodri, just one short touch to the left-hand side with Spain on the ball midway inside of the Cape Verde half. Unai Simon in goal then for Spain, with Llorente, Cabasi, Laporte and Cucurella at the back. And then Pedri, Rodri and Ruiz in the midfield. Need to look towards the bench with the names such as Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams lingering in the shadows. They might need to grace the surface here in Atlanta if Spain are going to find the breakthrough, but the ball easily gathered by Virginia inside of their own penalty area, looking for Gavi long. Gavi's been very quiet in this game so far. The fewest touches of any player in the game from Gavi up the left-hand side of the field. Barcelona man has wrestled with injury issues over recent years, a cruciate ligament injury in particular. Would have seen this as the perfect way to get back into national team favours, but so far, quiet in this game. As Cucurella throws the ball to the captain, Rodri, for Cape Verde. No changes either, with Virginia in goal, Cabral, Borges, Lopez and Moreira at the back, with Mendes, Linini, Cabral, Montero and Duarte in the midfield, and Livramento up top. Cape Verde again having to get used to the formalities of the first half, transitioning into the second, with Spain on the ball inside of their own half for large spells of the game here in Atlanta. Cabasi short to the right edge of the area towards Llorente, carrying the ball away, shielded by two players in Cape Verde white. As Laporte now has the ball, played up towards the edge of the area, turning on a dive from Fabian Ruiz, played out towards Pedri, left edge of the box. Just trying to open up some space to get a ball into the area. Good ball inside. Oh, it's a foul, but a poor header. But Spain keep the ball alive with Llorente. Right edge of the area, played back towards the edge of the box. A shot from range, and that one just goes over Virginia's crossbar. The shot there from Fabian Ruiz. He certainly does have a long-range finish firmly within his locker. But that time couldn't quite guide the ball inside of the resilient Cape Verde goal. Fabian Ruiz winding up a shot there with his left foot. That one just a yard or two over the upright of the Cape Verde crossbar. As Cape Verde look to play the ball, but again cheaply given away straight towards Ferran Torres in the centre of the Cape Verde half. As Rodri keeps the ball alive in Spanish bright red. Played towards Llorente, Cabase across the centre circle towards Laporte with a 1-2 back towards the 19-year-old. The future, the centre-back of Spain and Barcelona. As that's a wonderful piece of interchange of passing. Gavi short towards Fabian Ruiz off the edge of the area. But Montero wins the ball back brilliantly for Cape Verde. But again, as has been the pattern in this game, any passes from Cape Verde's midfield up to any form of an attacking line immediately shut out by the Spanish team that are lingering and lying in wait. Rodri now, midway inside of the Cape Verde half, looking to lead by example. The highly experienced central midfielder, alongside many who feel that PERDE is the next coming, effectively, of Rodri in terms of comfort and confidence in the middle of the park on the ball, as Spain now have the ball just inside of the Cape Verde penalty area, but players scrambling back to win the ball well. Shielding out and surrounding Ferran Torres as Lanini plays a ball up out of his own deep corner of the Cape Verde half on this near side. But Cape Verde, do they have a chance to potentially break away themselves? But far too late and laboured for Livramento, who was a good couple of yards offside. Borges just holding an arm up in apology. As Cape Verde looking to try and break away. It seems that the break is going to be very much on the cards for Babista and the Cape Verde team if they're going to find any way of breaching Spain's goal this afternoon. That's far too easily given away, breaking up the right-hand side of the Cape Verde half there. As Cape Verde themselves, the problem is every time they break, they have no numbers upfield. They're also dropped back in defensive duties, and that's been given away. Spain with a chance now, edge of the area, and that's sailed over the bar. Poorly connected there again from Fabian Ruiz, head in hands, face grimaced. And again, Fabian Ruiz's opportunity not anywhere near the target. Lanini cheaply giving the ball away yet again. Something that must need to be improved on for Cape Verde is how often they're giving the ball away, and so cheaply too, inside of their own half. You can't really say that they've been punished by a more dangerous team because they're playing one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament this summer. But for Spain, you'd have to say, the amount of chances that they've squandered, if they were going to be playing a more notably aggressive team, they would be getting punished right now. That must be cause for concern for De La Fuente. But Spain on the ball yet again, 10 yards inside of the Cape Verde half up the right-hand side. PERDE carrying the ball up towards that righter edge of the area. 1-2 back towards the byline. PERDE into the box, carrying a deflection, but Virginia, arms raised highest to get onto the ball himself. And if there's going to be a man of the match, it's going straight towards the number one. As things stand at the moment here in Atlanta, this live audio coverage, live broadcasting available as well in the regions where you are located. I'm glad you're joining me for this game that so far is throwing up a little bit of an upset as things stand. But there is plenty of time for all of that to change. As that's a cheap free kick given away there. Gavi looking to himself, wondering how he's the guilty party. As Ryan Mendes, the captain, wins a free kick midway inside of his own half on this nearer side of the field. And yes, if you were wondering, there are a large number of players playing in bright pink football boots. It seems to be the theme this summer, bright pink, whether it be Nike or Adidas. You name it, it will probably be pink. It was bright peach football boots in the season just gone 2025-2026, I noticed. That has been replaced with what surely is going to be pink for the pink is the new black, as it were, or pink is the new peach. Not a black boot in sight these days in football. Gone are the days of the Copa Mundial. And again, cheaply given away as Spain look to come. Oh, and it's a feigned opportunity from the edge of the area from Oyarzabal, and only he will know if that was a shot or a cross. And he'll be praying that that was a shot, not a cross, because if that was a cross, it was nowhere near any of the Spanish players off the edge of the box. But Virginia scrambling back. Ferran Torres was the only viable option on the further side of the box, but Oyarzábal's effort was a good 20 yards away from him. Ferran Torres, arms out wide, wondering why that ball didn't find him. Oyarzábal's face seemingly saying that he meant that to be a cross. But that one instead, nearer to the near post of Virginia's goal than Ferran Torres in the centre of the box. As Cape Verde look to clear the ball out of their own half and into the Spanish one, Cucurella wrestling the ball away there from the captain, Ryan Mendes. And it goes out instead for a Spanish throw-in midway inside of their own half. So we are nearing 10 minutes gone here in Atlanta in this second half. Goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. Saudi Arabia and Uruguay, that one is kicking off later on. Spain still continuing to mount serious pressure on Cape Verde in terms of time on the ball. Opportunities when breaking into the final third. But that back line and sitting right in front of Virginia so far are causing so many issues for Spain. There are a number of Spanish players warming up now as the ball has been drilled in towards the box, but Virginia sits comfortably onto the ball played in from Ferran Torres. Gavi was lingering nearest to in the penalty area. But Virginia, once again, Mr. Reliable, 40-year-old man. Not the oldest goalkeeper, though, in this tournament. That does go towards Ryan Gordon of Scotland. The ball now been played out, seemingly for an issue here. Just looking to see exactly what's going on as the ball has been just played out for Cape Verde. As it looks like Jamiro Montero just currently needing to stretch out, Javan Cabral, needing to stretch out an issue, and the referee now is ushering to the sideline. So with this, Cabral is going to have to wait a full minute before coming back onto the field when Makhadmeh lets him back on, the Jordanian referee. Play now continuing with that throw-in, and the ball played out to this right-hand side. Morea threading a ball up towards Livramento, but Ino Simar coming across there to gather that ball up in his hands. First time I actually think that Unai Simon has had to pick up the ball with his hands in this game. Rightly so as well, had to be quick off his mark there. Died on Livramento. A real turn of pace from the Cape Verde striker there, breaching the defensive line of Spain. As Rodri chips the ball up to this left-hand side of Cape Verde's half towards Cucurella. Back towards Pedri, as Pedri dinks the ball in towards the box. Oyarzábal, but no, can't quite guide it. Again, the other side of Virginia. That was Fabian Ruiz with the header. But Virginia again reading everything, and the frustrations must be ticking and growing ever more for Spain. But the man who plies his trade in the Portuguese second division for Gidi Chavez, still continuing to cause Spain real issues in breaching the Cape Verde goal. The oldest player in the squad, playing in the Portuguese second division, but most notably with AEL Limassol in Cyprus. Now in the world's biggest stage here in Atlanta, and really holding his own as it stands so far. Llorente midway inside the Cape Verde half, squared to the captain Rodri, dead centre of that half. The ball out to the left-hand side, now whipped in towards the penalty area. Header one well there from Cabral. As again, Cape Verde need to be careful, and a wayward pass backward, but Virginia scrambling across just to clear the ball, clear his lines away from the byline. Spain take this throw in quickly enough to the captain Rodri, 10 yards off the right side of the box. Pedri, ball on the ground. Still Spain bringing pressure in towards the Cape Verde third. Laporte now, with a shot from range from Laporte, catching a deflection, and that one going over the crossbar as well. Laporte face to the heavens. And I'm not sure how much longer De La Fuente can wait for this one, potentially, as we are nearing the hour mark of the game here. And you can sense the frustrations are growing because more and more snapshots from range are creeping into this game. And we are going to need to see the first changes of the afternoon, and they are going to come by the way of Cape Verde. Looks like 3 players are going to be getting themselves ready to come on as they still have a bit of work to do. Sending us, again, another poor pass out to the right as Ferran Torres picks up on the loose ball on the byline. Played in towards the box, but a big foot in front from Borges, clearing the ball away for a corner. As again, Cape Verde give the ball cheaply away inside of their own half. And you simply can't say that they'd be punished by a better team. They're playing one of the great teams and one of the expectant teams to be the biggest successor at the end of the tournament. But as it stands, it's still goalless as that corner has been taken short. Spain with the ball right edge of the box, low, drilled into the area, headed away. Spain look to mount yet another pressure charge on the Cape Verde goal. But Llorente 1-2 back there with Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz inside towards Rodri, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, under pressure from surrounding players in Cape Verde white, still keeping the ball well. Livramento putting the pressure on, but Kabasi keeping the ball alive for Spain instead with a snap-filled ball to the right. Pedri, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, threaded ball up, but a wonderful slide tackle in, can't quite stop the danger though. Spain, ball in towards the box, and Virginia gets there, big hands in front of the head of Oyarzabal. His frustrations continuing to creep in. As Cape Verde are poised and ready to make a number of changes, still yet to see movement down seriously enough from De La Fuente. As we are seconds away from the 60th minute of the game here in Atlanta, goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. This live audio coverage. The captain, Ryan Mendes, now carrying the ball towards the edge of the box, but a wonderful tackle from Gavi in from behind. As Rodri sent a cross-field ball from left to right. Sidney Cabral can't quite get there before, and Ferran Torres can instead. Cabral with a big foot in, and it's Sidney Borges keeping the ball alive, but can't stop the ball from going out for a Spanish corner. This one to be taken on the further side of the field. It was a wonderful long crossfield ball from Rodri for Ferran Torres to chase. But Dini Borges coming back, offering defensive duties instead of the 3 changes are now going to be made for Cape Verde. And the first of those coming off the field is Javan Cabral. So Cabral's race has been run. He did pull up just moments ago as well, so an understandable change for that, as well as Daylon Livramento, yet another player to be coming off the field for Cape Verde, who's run a hard race this afternoon, and Laros Duarte, the third change to be made for Cape Verde this afternoon, being replaced by his brother Deroy Duarte, as well as Willie Semedo and Nuno da Costa. So Semedo, Duarte and da Costa on. As Spain play this corner inside, Virginia parrying the ball away out of any sort of danger. Cucurella first time launching a ball up into the air, but Virginia carries that ball away himself instead. So yeah, Semedo, Duarte and da Costa on for Cabral, Duarte and Livramento. All very much like-for-like changes for Cape Verde. Nuno da Costa, who plays in Istanbul for Başakşehir in the Turkish Super League. 35 years of age, getting his way back into Cape Verde national team football after a 7-year gap. Can he be the man to lead Cape Verde to what would be a shock opportunity as Spain play a long ball to the left edge of the area? Cucurella keeping the ball alive just about though. Rodri 1-2 back towards the captain, centre of the Cape Verde half, inside towards Pedre, confident with the ball at feet, jinking away from Cape Verde players, but a big interception in the way at the back there from Roberto Lopez. Still need to be careful there. Was Ryan Mendes just carrying the ball into a dangerous area himself. Cape Verde certainly do live on a knife edge in terms of allowing pressure to continue inside of their own first. As Morea now is going to get the countdown from the Jordanian referee to take this throw in as quickly as he possibly can. 1 more second remaining, but Morea now to throw the ball away in time. The punishment is the throw-in does go to the other team, and you do not want to give a throw-in there to Spain. But immediately giving the ball away under that pressure of the referee's countdown as Laporte now midway inside of the Cape Verde half to this nearer left-hand side of the field. 1-2 back towards Laporte. He's got Pedri to the left and finds Pedri. Pedri Ball on the deck towards Kabasi, squared to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Llorente into the box, but a big interception still yet to be dealt with from Cape Verde. As Semedo gets his first touch on the ball since coming onto the field here in Atlanta. And the ball looking to be threaded up yet again, but Montero sliding in, putting a big foot in front. Stopping that ball being played up to try and unlock Cape Verde's defence. Crossfield into towards the left edge of the area. Cucurella low into the box. Can Gavi get there first? But a big interception in the way there from Moreira. As the captain, Ryan Mendes, looks to clear the ball away himself. But given the nature of this game and how Cape Verde have set themselves up, there is not a single player further upfield. Nuno da Costa, the lone striker, but almost playing in as a central midfielder. Spain once again, plenty of time on the ball, in particular in the Cape Verde half. Pedri, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, plays a ball on the deck towards Llorente up the further right-hand side. Short towards the captain, Rodri. Rodri squared back instead towards Llorente, with Fabian Ruiz coming back in offer of support towards Laporte himself. Spain with the ball, 15 yards from the Cape Verde penalty area. Passing the ball around, but under pressure for the resilient wall of Cape Verde. But the ball, that long ball played forward, not quite finding the intended target of Mikel Orizabal and going out for a Cape Verde goal kick instead. So we are into the 20th minute of the second half here. Still goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. 3 changes made for the Atlantic Ocean Island team. They so far are staring down the barrel of what is a truly remarkable and memorable first experience here on the world's biggest stage. Spain now, the referee stopping play, seems to be of head collision right in the centre of the Spanish half. Nuno da Costa just coming together. Just wait and see who it is for Spain that's going to be helped back up to their feet. It's actually Aymeric Laporte, who seems to be okay at the moment, just checking his nose, feeling a full blood connection there with the new man on the field in Nuno da Costa. Both players just going for the ball, eyes on the ball as well. Da Costa, rightly so, arms out wide. There was no intention with that, but surely that one is going to hurt. Catching the bridge of the nose of Laporte. Spain now with the ball, yet again inside the Cape Verde half, but nothing to show for it in terms of a scoreline. Pedri looking for Cucurella long. Again, marshalled brilliantly from Moreira. Rodri inside towards Pedri, the 2 central midfielders for Spain, trying to find those connecting passes to break the resilience of Cape Verde's defensive line. Cucurella short towards Rodri, squared inside, those Spanish passes continuing to add up and up and up. But the goal yet to be breached as Kabasi plays the ball up towards the edge of the area, drilled towards Ferran Torres. As Montero shields the ball away, sending the ball long up the left-hand side of the field and straight out for a Spanish throw-in, just inside of their own half, up the further side of the field. Llorente throws quickly infield. Spain look to come yet again, continuing to look for answers to the questions that are seemingly not being responded to. Cucurella, short to the left edge of the box. 1-2 back towards the big head, soon potentially to be Madrid man. Sure that Jose Mourinho is keeping a close eye on proceedings as well. But it's Kabasi, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, up to the right edge of the area towards Fabian Ruiz. 1-2 with Llorente. Fabian Ruiz growing in frustrations in this game. Champions League winner with Paris Saint-Germain just weeks ago. Frustrated here by Cape Verde. Spain still plenty of time on the ball here. The captain Rodri, 10 yards from the left corner of the box. Played again towards Pedri, the 2 of them combining still. Fabian Ruiz just off the right edge of the area, laid up towards Llorente, surrounded by 2 players from Cape Verde, but still they continue to come. Wonderful pass towards Llorente, but an excellent interception from behind. Can Cape Verde this time clear their lines efficiently enough as Cabral runs into danger himself and plays the ball out for a Spanish corner? Serious pressure continuing to mount. All eyes will turn to the referee to see when this next hydration break is going to come. He does check his watch. They are under the referee's discretion to come in from between the 20th and the 25th minute of either half. So we are now at the exact halfway point of this second half. Corner now being taken to the near post. Virginia clambering onto the ball, dropping the ball in the process and winning a free kick as he looked to win the ball under the pressure from the captain Rodri. And we are now going to see, after this hydration break, it looks like Lamine Yamal is getting ready to come onto the field as Virginia is still down at the moment as he clambered to get onto that ball that he dropped initially from the corner. Rodri looking to get there first, just putting pressure under Virginia in the box. The hydration break is now being seen to. Both sets of players making their way towards their respective dugouts to take on board definitely more than just water. Still a criticism amongst a number of people, but Lamine Yamal is very much ready to go down there. So we await to see who he's going to be replacing after the hydration break is finished. 72% possession to just the 28 for Cape Verde. 18 shots for Spain, 5 of which on target, but none of which yet to breach Virginia. 560 completed passes as well for Spain. 604 attempted. I mean, the stats are telling a completely different story to the scoreline, as always is the case. Just 175 completed passes from Cape Verde. And if you have to pick any flaws in Cape Verde's performance so far, it's the ease of which they give the ball away when clearing the ball from defence towards midfield. Sometimes the ball not even getting beyond halfway outside of their own half. So with that, monumental praise and credit has to go towards the defensive four and the goalkeeper for Cape Verde. Virginia seemingly okay after feeling that full connection from Rodri right before the hydration break was called. Lamine Yamal just receiving some last minute instructions down there on the touchline. So we await to see exactly who he will be replacing. With both sets of teams now slowly making their way back into formation. The best chance of the game by far in the first half. Ferran Torres hitting the crossbar and Oyarzábal's looping header palmed over the bar by Virginia just seconds after. Cape Verde yet to have a serious chance on Unai Simon's target. We are also going to see Mikel Merino coming on for Spain, to a double substitution about to be made for De La Fuente. Is going to be Fabian Ruiz coming off in place of Mikel Merino. So the two opposition players in the Champions League final just weeks ago, now teammates in the national side, and it is going to be Gavi coming off as well. Gavi very much a quiet customer this evening here in Atlanta as Lamine Yamal, the 18-year-old wonder kid sensation, enters the field and enters the tournament for the first time. It's his first taste of the world's biggest stages. I'm sure that there will be many more opportunities for him, but he makes his first appearance in this tournament here in Atlanta against Cape Verde, and what he would give to give Spain the lead here this afternoon. So here's Yamal's first touch on the ball, up that further right-hand side, already confident with the ball at feet, looking to attack Cabral on the left-hand side of the field, as he now comes yet again, resilient pace, finding a short ball inside towards Merino for his first touch. Pedri up towards Cucurella, 5 yards off of the penalty area, coming back in energetic support though there was Nuno da Costa. As Cape Verde live to fight yet another day into the final 20 minutes. Of course, the minimum 3 will be added at the end of this half. So Cape Verde are now at least 21 minutes away from what would surely be one of the most historic results in their history, almost alongside that victory against Cameroon, as well as that victory against El Stahini that booked their place here. This one would surely rank up alongside that, given the nature of the beast that they are tackling here in Atlanta. Lamine Yamal already looking confident on the ball, always going to be a significant threat for no matter which team that has to face. And that's a wonderful short ball towards Llorente, in towards the box, and low, but not convincing enough of an opportunity or a connection on the ball whatsoever. As Virginia again comfortably gathers the ball up at his feet. Spain yet again, another chance squandered for the heavy tournament favourites. This live audio coverage here from Atlanta, Spain 0, Cape Verde 0, also available via your local broadcasting channels. This live audio coverage of what is so far proving to be a frustrating stalemate for the giants of Europe against the plucky volcanic island nation off the western coast of Africa. So far holding their own against the likes of players that ply their trades for the world's biggest clubs. As that's a ball played into the box. Lopez gets the header in the way first, though. Cucurella first to get onto the ball, headed back, though, instead to the comfort and space of Laporte. Laporte 1-2 now back towards Laporte as he sends a ball in towards the edge of the penalty area, but intercepted by Sidney Lopez Cabral, sending the ball long again. Isolated figure of Nuno da Costa. Spain coming once more. Ball chipped up to the right edge of the box towards Lamine Yamal, keeping the ball alive. Some of them thought he might have been offside, but the assistant on the side, his flag is still down. PERDE off the edge of the area, turning on a dime away from bright white shirts. And yet again, they just can't clear the ball away. And in doing so, it's almost a half-attempted effort just to clear the ball away, allowing Spain even more time on the ball inside of their own half. Rodri, the captain, centre of the Cape Verde half, threads a wonderful ball up towards Ferran Torres, edge of the area with the shot, but a big body in the way from Dini Borges. The two centre-backs again proving a real cause for concern. So they've just announced the official figure of attendance here, just over 67,500 here in this 71,500 seater stadium in Atlanta, home of the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL. The ball looking to be threaded up for Lamine Yamal, but read again brilliantly from Dini Borges. Still Cape Verde with plenty of work to do defensively and winning a free kick for their trouble. Mikel Merino just going in through the back of Kevin Lanini. So those two changes made for Spain recently, and another change to be made here for Cape Verde, soon to be coming in. And it is going to be João Paulo who looks to be coming on now in place of Sidney Cabral. Cabral, who is on a yellow card, the only player on a yellow card as well. So Sidney Lopez Cabral, who's worked hard, and now fresh legs to face the quite daunting task of Lamine Yamal. João Paulo plays for FCSB in Romania. Does play as a defensive midfielder, but more so as a fullback for Babista and Cape Verde. He has the task ahead of him for the final 18 or so minutes of this game to stop Lamine Yamal. Yamal now on the ball up that right-hand edge of the area, with João Paulo shielding to and forcing a ball backwards. Ball launched into the air in towards the Cape Verde box. Moreira heading the ball away under pressure. Montero heads the ball further still, but straight towards the Spanish has been the formation and the formality of this game all long. Cucurella squares back instead towards Spanish players, and coming back in Laporte, carrying the ball towards the byline on this left-hand side in the corner of the field. But a wonderful tackle from Nuno da Costa, coming back to offer defensive support. But again, cheaply given away for Cape Verde, still having to deep in defence. Rodri, left edge of the area towards Cucurella, touch towards Ferran Torres, Torres in towards Oyarzabal. But Cape Verde again, pumping the ball long, high into the Atlanta areas. Kevin Lanini. Anywhere but the box seems to be the attitude for Cape Verde this afternoon. Rodri, cross-field ball to the left-hand side of the penalty area towards Cucurella with one touch down, squared inside towards PERDE. PERDE stood on the ball, just slowing things down before cross-field on the deck towards Llorente and further out still towards Lamine Yamal. Looking to breach now the right edge of the box towards Llorente. Ferran Torres, big tackle, edge of the area, PERDE, and a big interception again there from Dini Borges. The two centre-backs continuing to work their socks off here for Cape Verde. Llorente, 10 yards from the left side of the penalty area, squared inside. And now Spain with the ball yet again with the captain Rodri. Serious pressure and work rate this from Cape Verde, just holding such a stoic formation in front of their own area and inside of the box. As Cucurella looks to get the ball away from the captain, Ryan Mendes, and again, nearly cheaply giving the ball away. Cape Verde need to be careful. Ball deep inside of their own half, and again given away, but Cucurella swiping the ball back towards Laporte. As Laporte dinks a ball up cutely towards Pedri. Pedri carrying the ball in towards the centre and crossfield towards Llorente, midway inside of the Cape Verde half. On the deck, on the right-hand side of the field towards Lamine Yamal, carrying the ball towards the byline and the left edge of the area. That one's broken loose, and a big interception from Dini Borges, just getting there ahead of Oyarzabal. But couldn't quite find his way in front there, the Sociedad man. Lamine Yamal already seems an inspiring change, but we are going to see the fifth and final change of the afternoon for Cape Verde. It is going to be Jaimiro Monteiro coming off. Montero's worked his socks off as well in the middle of the park. He was being replaced by Telmo Arcanho. So Arcanho, another one of the players that plies their trade in Portugal, Spanish-speaking nation of Cape Verde. All 5 changes now made for Babista, but this corner to be taken. Swung in towards the near post, headed away at that near post by Dini Borges, but Cucurella heading back into a dangerous area. Virginia with a punch, he can't quite get there. Still they scramble to keep the ball alive. Spain do that, just that, to the left edge of the area. Chipped across the face of the box, and it's cleared away with the header. That one's going to bounce out instead. It looks to go out for a throw-in. Spain continuing to mount the pressure as we're approaching the final 10 minutes of the regulation 90. Unbelievable defensive work rate this from Cape Verde. Spain continuing to be frustrated by the side 67th in the world. Pedri squared towards Llorente, 10 yards from the right side of the box. As Marino plays the ball back towards Lamine Yamal, who seems to be working brilliantly already since coming on. Boy, they would have wished they would have had him from the off, because this scoreline might not be 0-0. But Cape Verde are working everything in their power to ensure that it remains just that as things stand right now. Cucurella squared in field towards Kabasi, dead centre of the Cape Verde half. All the players back inside of their own full. Bird ball played into the box, but cleared away from Cape Verde instead. Still they come yet again, Spain. This a classic David and Goliath situation, with the ball threaded up towards the right edge of the area, towards Lamine Yamal. All eyes to the referee to see which way his decision is going to go there. As it was João Paulo wrestling alongside of Lamine Yamal, just getting a big foot in front. João Paulo feeling that had come off of Lamine Yamal. But we are going to see yet another change for Spain, and it is going to be Dani Olmo coming on for Ferran Torres. So Ferran Torres off for Dani Olmo, that bright bleached blonde hair coming onto the field. This corner yet to be taken, and the referee actually changing from a VAR decision to a goal kick. Being informed by VAR, that's one of the new VAR enforcements here, that they can change the decision for a corner being given, but not if it's given as a goal kick. So it's only if a corner is given, not if a goal kick is given. That rule there just enforced into the final 10 minutes here in Atlanta. This live audio coverage of Spain, Cape Verde, goalless between the two of them here in the big tournament here on the eastern side of the United States. This game also available via your local broadcasting station as well. As the Spanish now send the ball out to the right, looking for the ever-present threat of Lamine Yamal. Wonderful jink touch to break away from João Paulo, but an excellent interception from Dini Borges instead. Himself, Roberto Lopez and Virginia, so far, well, their teammates are going to be having to reward them greatly if it remains 0-0. But there is still plenty of time for that to change. As the captain, Rodri, sprays the ball out to the right towards Llorente, furthest towards Lamine Yamal, in towards the box, headed towards Cucurella, at the back post, header down, but a poor header there from Cucurella, down towards Virginia. Cucurella, head slapping the forehead of his. He can't quite believe that the header, I can't believe the header as well. No wonder he palmed the front of his forehead. Plenty of space and time on the ball at that back post, but his header, no real power whatsoever. And again, another chance squandered for Spain to break the deadlock here in Atlanta. Joao Paulo going down, holding his face there from Lamine Yamal. It's going to be a free kick for Cape Verde just inside of the Spanish half on the further side of the field. I said there will be 3 minutes of time minimum added on. That we know of for the hydration break. And as it stands then, there will be at least 10 minutes of this game to go. Cape Verde 10 minutes away from a truly historic scoreline. Ball looped into the box, but Unai Simon coming to gather that one up himself, telling the team to remain calm. Still plenty of time to go. It only takes a second to score a goal. But so far they've wasted 83 minutes worth of seconds to breach the Cape Verde goal. As Spain come yet again here with Laporte, played out towards Cucurella midway inside the Cape Verde half, played back towards the Bilbao man. The two centre-backs combining now, playing in towards PERDE. Llorente midway inside that Cape Verde half up the right-hand channel. With Lamine Yamal on the ball just 5 yards from the right edge of the area, played aggressively up towards Llorente. Cape Verde looking to keep the ball alive, and Llorente can't keep the ball in play, going out for a Cape Verde throw-in up the left-hand side of the field. De La Fuente down there, almost holding a praying-like gesture towards his face. Got to say, even the Cape Verde fans in the corner here have not stopped all game long. And rightly so as well, because their team have put in a truly heroic performance this afternoon in Atlanta, as Dani Olmo plays a ball off towards the edge of the area towards Moreno. Cape Verde clear the ball away yet again, but only as far as Spanish red shirts. Laporte midway inside the Cape Verde half, chipping a ball out to the right edge of the box, but Yamal can't quite get there. Joao Paulo's header heading the ball out for a Spanish throw-in. As the minutes tick nearer and nearer to the 90th, where we see how much time is going to be added at the end of this game. Cucurella, left edge of the box, played into the area towards Olmo, but just wide. Snapshot from range, but far too wayward there. Spanish fans are growing less and less excited as the minutes tick on. Rodri with a poor effort. Almost so with the Spanish fans that whenever they see themselves appear on the large screens here in Atlanta, they don't wave at the screen, or they don't get a phone out to take a picture of this moment. They look completely dumbfounded that they are still held to a goalless scoreline here. But whenever the camera catches a Cape Verde fan, they're almost in raptures, falling through the screen itself. And they will have even more reason to do so if this scoreline remains come the full-time whistle. Rodri off the edge of the centre circle, inside of the Cape Verde half towards Laporte. On the deck towards Dani Olmo. 10 yards from the left edge of the area. Squared ball inside towards the captain. Back towards Olmo now. He's got Cucurella out to the left edge of the box. Squared inside towards Rodri, the captain. Rodri finding Cucurella, a yard off the left corner of the penalty area. Back towards Laporte, feigning a ball into the box. Cape Verde still holding their defensive shape. PERDE on the deck out towards Lamine Yamal, 5 yards from the right edge of the area, looking to feign a ball in towards the box. There, but a big interception instead from Duarte. One brother replacing another for Cape Verde today. And a brilliant interception as a ball has been played up there for Cape Verde to try and break away with Willy Semedo. Llorente coming back in support, clearing the ball out for a Cape Verde throw-in on the halfway line up the further side of the field. All 5 changes have been made for Cape Verde, as we're now going to see another change for Spain, as yet another of their exciting young talents, Nico Williams, is ready to enter the fray for the captain, Rodri. De La Fuente now looking to throw everything he possibly can at Cape Verde, and Nico Williams is a player that can do just that. The man born in Pamplona, the land of the running of the bull. Well, they will need him to run as aggressively as that if they're going to get anything out of this game here today in Atlanta. Cape Verde holding on to a truly spectacular and memorable result in their history. 1978 they were formed as a football team. Since 1975 their independence from Portugal. And can they hold on to yet another momentous moment in their history? But that's a long ball played up towards Olmo, right edge of the area. Olmo inside towards Oyarzabal, but a big interception there from Roberto Lopez, celebrating wildly that he got a big body in front of Oyarzabal in towards the box. Brilliantly marshalled there from the Shamrock Rovers centre-back, born in Dublin, putting the pressure off from Oyarzabal, sending that ball over the bar with an interception. And this corner to be taken on the right-hand side from Lamine Yamal, right-footed. Played short, though, instead towards the right edge of the area. Played back out towards the talented youngster. Low, driven ball in towards the box. Cape Verde clearing the ball away. It's all hands to the defensive pump for the Blue Sharks. Roberto Lopez heading the ball away, and further still from João Paulo, high into the Atlanta air. João Paulo picks up on that ball and sends it up the right-hand channel, but straight towards the bright blonde-haired Dani Olmo, carrying the ball underfoot, midway inside of the Cape Verde half. And a poor wayward pass from Dani Olmo out to the right, going out for a Cape Verde throw-in. All of the Spanish players frustrated at themselves. Olmo felt that that was going to be a throw-in for them. As we are now just over a minute away from seeing how much time is going to be added by the fourth official. It will be at least 3 for the hydration break. Spain currently goalless with Cape Verde. Cape Verde holding on for a ginormous scoreline in their history, but still with plenty of time to play. And Spain are always on the prowl and on the attack. As Lamine Yamal plays a laboured ball inside, straight towards Nuno da Costa, looking to send a ball long up the left-hand side of the field for a potential counter here for Cape Verde. Willy Semedo breaking to the left edge of the area. There's options in the box, but Semedo comes back instead. Going back, a shot from range. That is a shot, and it's just gone wide. Always sailing wide there from the captain, Ryan Mendes. The Cape Verde fans are in absolute raptures down below. They are in the most jubilant of moods, a stark contrast to that of the Spanish fans in the standing surrounds. It's Kevin with the shot there. It was from range, coming off of Dani Olmo, going out for a corner as the 90th minute is about to be hit. This corner to be taken from Aranquio on this left-hand side, left-footed ball, swung into the box. Could this be the madness of the moment? To the back post, headed down, but Unai Simon gathers on that ball instead. Cape Verde's first attempt on the target comes on the 90th minute as Spain look to counter themselves. Nico Williams breaking away with his pace, and Virginia just comes and gathers that ball up instead. Wonderfully guided there from Moira. And there are going to be 5 minutes of time added on minimum at the end of this game. Dini Borges with the header right on target, but Unai Simon straight down the throat of the Athletic Club goalkeeper. Their first attempt on the target. What a moment that would have been. Their bench nearly running onto the field, but Spain now coming up the left-hand side. Cucurella laid off to Williams, back towards Cucurella, driven low into the box, but a big interception yet again there from Dini Borges. Him and Roberto Lopez continuing to be the ever-present wall for Cape Verde in front of their goal, alongside Virginia. 1 minute of the 5 now played. It is going to be a corner for Spain. All of the Cape Verde players are up on their feet, off the edge of the dugout, praying and praying for the minutes to tick towards 95. Pedri to the near post, headed away by Roberto Lopez, only as far as Cucurella. Cucurella back instead towards Llorente. As Llorente plays the ball across to the left-hand side of the field towards Pedri. Pedri squared. All the players dropping back here for Cape Verde. Lamine Yamal from range, but a poor effort, catching Marino instead, as Cape Verde look to break away themselves on the counter, potentially having the chance to do that, but it's a poor ball played out from Nuno dos Santos. Cucurella getting a big ball in front. As the Cape Verde players have been told to get back inside of their dugout by the fourth official. Spain come again, midway inside the Cape Verde half. Lamine Yamal cutting back towards Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo squared in the middle towards Pedri. Cucurella's out wide on the left in plenty of space, being found off the left at the edge of the area. And the ball played back instead towards Pedri, turning away. 2 minutes of the 5 gone. Every single second must feel like a minute for those Cape Verde players and fans. Pedri, squared to the centre towards Kabasi and out towards Lamine Yamal. Right edge of the box, Lamine Yamal cutting in towards the byline. João Paulo with a big foot in front. Still Lamine Yamal comes, turning, looking to take on the FCSB man. Played on the edge of the area as Spain look to try and capitalise, but Cape Verde get a big ball in a body in front as they break away, caught from behind. That's going to be a free kick for Cape Verde, just off of their own centre circle. Pedri receiving a yellow card for his troubles. As we are continuing to tick nearer and nearer towards what is going to be what could be the shock result of this tournament. Cape Verde, 67th in the world against Spain, hot favourites by everyone before this tournament, second in the world. As it stands, they are level and they are 2 minutes away from a truly historic scoreline. Cape Verde, 10 volcanic islands off of the West African coast in the Atlantic Ocean, holding their own against the giants of Spain. Cape Verde looking to do everything they can to scramble onto a ball and get time on the ball themselves. Willy Semedo shielding the ball inside of his own half, played up towards Aranquio. Wonderful play there from Aranquio, breaking away from Romino. Excellent footwork as well. Played in the centre towards Ryan Mendes, midway inside of the Spanish half, looking to have a shot from range, and he does, but it goes well wide of the target from the captain. That one a laboured effort just to have a go to see what could potentially happen. These Cape Verde fans, all on their feet, have been all game long, cannot quite believe it, as we are now ready to enter the final minute of the 5 minutes minimum. Played up towards Nico Williams, midway inside the Cape Verde half. Cucurella making a run up the left, 5 yards from the edge of the area, ball into the box, but a big interception again from Roberto Lopez, the man born in Dublin, playing for Cape Verde, receiving that LinkedIn invitation to play for Cape Verde. Seconds away now from a historic result as Lamine Yamal has the ball, 10 yards from the right edge of the area, in towards the box, but headed away by Sidney Borges, but that's been laid off straight towards Lamine Yamal in the area, deflection, and that one's going to go out for a corner. This now surely might be the last chance of the game for Spain if they're going to get themselves a victory. Cape Verde have worked themselves into the Atlanta turf here. As numbers all come back in white, all of the squad for Cape Verde in the penalty area. It's going to be Lamine Yamal. He's got an option near. 5 Spanish red shirts. Lamine Yamal in towards the box, headed to the back post, and that one goes wide, and that one goes out for a goal kick, as we are now just seconds away from the referee blowing his whistle. It's Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. All eyes are on the referee from Jordan, and there goes the referee's whistle. It is a truly historic day in Cape Verde football. They have held Spain, number 2 in the world, hot favourites to lift the trophy in New York on July the 19th. They have been held to a 0-0 scoreline here by the tiny island nation, the second smallest nation in terms of land size to ever enter the tournament, third smallest in terms of population. And those Cape Verde fans, down to the right-hand side here in Atlanta, are in absolute raptures. The Spanish fans in muted applause for their players on the field. The Cape Verde players hugging one another, falling to their knees in prayer. They have pulled off a truly historic scoreline here in Atlanta this afternoon. It has finished Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. Uruguay and Saudi Arabia kicking off later on in this group today. But Cape Verde hold their heads high, their first ever game on the world's biggest stage, and understandably, all of their players crowd around Borges, Lopez, and in particular, Voiginia in tears on the field. A true hero for Cape Verde this afternoon. Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. A truly historic moment for the West African island nation. Thank you all so very much for listening, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the tournament and have a very good week ahead. Thank you very much.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.